Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I want to talk about tips or advice that I have for my friends out there who find themselves starting a new vegan lifestyle. Yay! I am so excited for you. This way of life has changed my life. I am more energetic, which I'm not sure I needed. I sleep better. A lot of my health issues have gone away. It really has just changed everything about me completely, and I couldn't be more excited for you. But I want to make sure we talk about a few things that, may come up when you start your journey. And I'm going to call it a journey because I don't know about you, but it was a journey for me, like a big old journey. Some of you, maybe that, some of you who are already vegan, maybe were able to switch over pretty easily, but it took some trial and error for me, and that's okay. The point is, I got here and I want to share some of my experience with you to help you along the way. Before we get into those tips though, I just want to welcome those of you who are new here. My name is Tia. I'm a busy mom of two, a plant-based nutritionist, and here on this channel, I love to share with you ways to make transitioning and living this lifestyle really easily. I don't know if you heard me before, but it took me some time to make this lifestyle stick, and once I figured it out, it has become so simple for me. So like I said, I love to share that with you to kind of help you along the way and help make it stick for you a hell of a lot quicker than it did for me. So if that sounds good to you, please make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a video from me. I post every Monday and I have a blast doing it. And if you are new here and you do subscribe, make sure you drop a comment and say hi. Now, if you are already subscribed, don't be scooting out of this video because you're like, oh yeah, I'm already a vegan. I don't need to know these, tips or advice. You might. I may talk about something that it might be worth hearing for you. So I would encourage you to continue watching, and I totally appreciate it. Ooh, also, if you want to see what I'm eating for lunch, because I am really getting hungry, so after this video I'm going to be having lunch. If you want to see what I'm having, make sure you stick around till the end because I'm going to be making it very fast and easy and putting it in my mouth. All right, so let's get into my first tip or advice or information that I can give you that may help you with becoming a new vegan. So number one, this one's a good one, and of course I'm going to talk about it because my channel talks a lot about this, but just because you are vegan doesn't mean you're going to be super healthy and lose all kinds of weight. I want to talk a little bit about this for a second. When you make the choice to become a vegan, most people, okay, I'm gonna say most people, but most people choose to become a vegan for the animals. Now, I know there are those bunch of people who decide to go vegan for their health. And that's great, because you are still helping out the animals. But just because you are becoming vegan does not mean you're going to be healthy. There are so many unhealthy vegan foods out there. There's processed faux meats, there's processed faux cheese, there's a ton of vegan junk food. Oreos are vegan. There's vegan cakes and pies. I mean, I could really just keep going on, but I think you get the point. Now, does that mean you're not going to be healthier by becoming a vegan? No, because you are excluding things that make our bodies inflamed, like meat and dairy and eggs. So you are becoming a healthier version of yourself. But again, just becoming vegan doesn't necessarily mean that you're healthy. Again, becoming a vegan is for the animals. Eating a whole foods plant-based diet, that's for your health. Now, a whole foods plant-based diet is also eliminating meat, dairy, and eggs, but what you're doing differently is you are eating foods, plant foods only, in their natural state as much as possible, and that's going to allow you to get all of the nutrients that you need if you're eating enough food, like protein, calcium. Eating this way is going to allow you to naturally lose weight and get healthy. Now, we kind of talked about, the nutrient part of a whole foods plant-based diet, but when you're eating whole plant foods in their natural state as much as possible, these foods are naturally calorically deficient and nutritionally dense. So naturally, you're just gonna take in less calories and lose weight doing this. That's not to say everyone who moves over to a whole foods plant-based diet is gonna lose weight instantly. But if you want to stop all the dieting and the portion control and the counting the calories and the restricting your carbs, and you want to eat foods in abundance, a whole foods plant-based diet is where it's at. Now, if you want to hear more about this, I talk all about this in one of my latest videos about how I lost 50 pounds without having to do all that stuff I just talked about. No counting, no restricting. I'm going to link it in the description box and put it up above for you. I really highly recommend checking that out. And like I said, I go into way more detail about how eating a whole foods plant-based diet can allow you to live this way, free from the diet chains, and make sure you check out that video. All right, moving on. I am very excited to talk about this next one because I probably get the most messages in my DMs over on Instagram about this. It is gas and bloating. Now, you may be wondering, like, why is this girl so excited to talk about farting? And I just feel like there are so many people out there who have questions about this and no one talks about it. And I don't know, like, why aren't people talking about this more? Because in my experience, and I know many people out there have had this same experience, but when you move over from the standard American diet to a whole foods plant-based diet, you do tend to experience a lot more bloating and gas. It's natural. When you're moving over from a diet, the standard American diet, where people hardly even get half of the recommended amounts of fiber daily, then you move over to a plant-based diet where you are getting sufficient amounts of fiber. Of course, there's gonna be, some rumble up in that tummy. But that's natural, that's gonna happen. And when you experience bloat and gas, that can be a very good sign. Fiber is food for your gut. So when you first move over to this way of life, you may not have enough good bacteria in there to break down that fiber. And the bacteria that you do have in there may be eating up all this fiber and producing gas and a little more bloating than you may be used to. It's normal. This usually does get better as the bacteria in your gut starts to kind of get used to everything and it all starts to change for the better. It usually takes a couple weeks, but everybody is different. Now, a lot of people ask me, well, did you experience like crazy amounts of gas and bloating? And I was one of the lucky ones. I didn't experience it too much. Now, I will say I did have it and I still do have gas. You guys, gas is here to stay. You're gonna have it eating really healthy foods. It's a good sign, again, that the bacteria in your gut is on point. But I never had anything crazy because I was already eating pretty good amounts of fiber before switching all the way over to a whole foods plant-based diet. Now, if you have crazy bloating pains and gas pains, well, then you might need a little extra help and need to talk to a plant-based doctor and figure out what's going on there. But for the most part, a little bit of bloating and gas is normal when you go from the standard American diet to a vegan, whole foods, plant-based one. Embrace it, let the rest of your family know, and move on. I would suggest possibly, taking some probiotics in the beginning. That can kind of help with speeding things up with all the bacteria kind of evening out. I loved to eat fermented foods in the beginning. I did drink kombucha, which is fermented. So I do think that helped a bit with the bacteria in my gut as I was transitioning. So I don't think that's like definitely going to make things go away, but I do think it can help. So that's just something to think about. Something else that you can do to help out is to eat your meals slower. Many times, a lot of the gas that we're experiencing is just air from eating so fast. We're swallowing more air. So make sure you eat your meals slowly, and then also make sure you are drinking plenty, who's that? Plenty of water. That is going to help keep things moving, okay? What happens when you eat fiber is it absorbs the water that's in your body. So if you're not drinking any more water, that's gonna cause some problems if there's, not much water left in there. So make sure you are drinking a lot more water when you move over to a plant-based diet to help keep things moving along. Not gonna get too much into that. I think you know what I mean. And there you go. I think that will help. So the next thing I want to talk about is taking a B12 supplement. Some of you may be thinking like, wait, I have to take a supplement? Yeah, it's just one supplement. I know many people who eat meat, dairy, and eggs, and they take a whole bunch of supplements, like a whole handful of supplements.
Can I have these cookies?
Can you have these cookies? Which, by the way, are vegan. Okay, back to the B12. So there are a lot of people who, eat the standard American diet and have to take tons of vitamins. B12 is found in bacteria in the soil. Because of all of the farming with agriculture, our soil's just depleted of B12. So if you are a vegan, you're gonna have to just take a B12 supplement. Now, I will say this, it's not just vegans who are at risk of being deficient in B12. There are a lot of people who eat non-vegan who are deficient in B12. Because yes, you can find B12 in animals, but where do you think they're getting their B12 from? The soil. And again, because the soil is depleted of B12, they're not getting much B12 either. So what you're finding is these farmers are having to give B12 supplements to the animals as well. Now, when you move right over to becoming a vegan, do you have to take B12 right away? No, our body stores it for quite some time. But I would say, definitely a couple months after being a vegan, I would look into a supplement, one that, you can put under your tongue that dissolves in your mouth, or a liquid, because our body absorbs that better. But I would definitely look into taking a B12 supplement. You should be doing that if you are a vegan. And if you're not a vegan, watching this video, I would get your B12 levels checked and see if you need to take a supplement as well. It's not a big deal. Go find one you like and take it. All right, next on my list, I want to talk about eating out as a vegan. Listen, it's gonna kind of suck. I'm a little lucky because I live in a city where there are quite a bit of vegan options as far as restaurants go, but most people in this country, they just don't have those options. And so you gotta know, it might not be wise to eat out a lot. I actually recommend, if you are trying to be healthy, if you are trying to drop some unwanted, unhealthy body fat, don't eat out a lot. No matter how healthy a restaurant says it is, there's gonna probably be oil in that food, or some type of preservative or something. It's best for you to stay home and make your meals as much as possible. Now I get, there's special occasions, go for it, that's gonna happen. But I want you to know that there's not gonna be that many vegan options. There's gonna be more options for the people who eat meat, dairy, and egg. And guess what? Again, that's okay. That doesn't mean you need to jump ship or that this lifestyle is not going to work for you. You need to learn to prepare yourself for this. One of the first times I switched over to being a vegan, because I did it a lot, I tried a lot of times before it actually stuck. I guess was in denial about this, or maybe I didn't know, but I just thought I could live my life normally, my fast food, or I say fast food, but my out to eat life like I did before. And every time we went out to eat, I wasn't prepared enough. I just thought there would be options and there weren't. And so what would happen is we would go out to eat and I would just say, oh, I'll go ahead and eat the other way for now. I'm starving. I'll just start over tomorrow. No, I didn't want to be doing that, but I was so hungry. I couldn't think about anything except eating. So anything looked good. And if you're doing this for your health, if you're doing this for the animals, if you're doing this for the environment, whatever the reason, you don't want to be falling off the wagon a couple days a week and then hopping back on. You want to be consistent with this. You want this to be your new life. This is you. You are a vegan. There you go. So you got to be prepared. I think it's best to go online, find any vegan restaurant you can, make a list of it so you know these are the places, if I go out to eat, that I'm gonna go to. Now, there may be times where you go out with non-vegan friends, or maybe your family isn't vegan and they wanna go to a restaurant that serves meat. My advice there, and this is what I used to do before my whole family moved over to eating a whole foods plant-based diet, is I would either eat beforehand, make a quick meal, throw some stuff in a pot, eat it really fast, lots of fiber to fill your stomach so when you go to that restaurant, you're not tempted. Or you can always take that food you made in the pot, throw it in a container, stick it in your bag, and bring it to the restaurant. Don't be afraid to whip out a container of mashed potatoes and broccoli that you made at home at the restaurant. The waiters and waitresses are gonna understand. They know they can't accommodate everyone's diet. So if you wanna do that, do it. Being prepared is so key when you leave your house. Also, while you're in your house, but we're talking about going out to eat. So when you walk out that door, it's up to you to make sure you have the healthiest snacks you can in your bag. And you know wherever you're going, you know what you're walking into. Be prepared when eating outside of your house. Oh, I'm so excited. I am having my leftover lentil marinara, and I love to put this on toast because it kind of tastes like pizza to me. This is just Ezekiel bread. And then I'm having, oh my gosh, a sumo. Is that how you say it? A sumo orange or mandarin. Oh, these are in season like only maybe 2 months out of the year, and I count down on the calendar when they are here. But for my lentil marinara, I'm just gonna load on a bunch of spinach and then put the marinara on top. Now this marinara is so easy to make. I will link it in the description box. It takes 15 minutes, but you don't have to do anything like within those 15 minutes. You just throw everything. I throw it in my Instant Pot and hit start, and 15 minutes later it is ready. It is delicious. The whole family loves it, especially my husband. I think he asked for this like, I don't know, multiple times a week. I just throw lentils and veggies in my Instant Pot with some spaghetti sauce, fat-free spaghetti sauce and oil-free, obviously, and that's it. It's done. It's so good. And like I said, this tastes like pizza. Oh my God, look at this. Look how much food this is. Look at my face. Not a ton of calories for so much food. And I could really pack on more spinach if I had the room. Anyway, that's my point with the whole foods plant-based diet. Nutritionally dense, calorically deficient. Definitely recommend, if you don't have this recipe, to get it. I'll link it above, and like I said, in the description box. Oh my God, so good. It's so easy too. And that brings me to my next tip, conversation, what have you. I think it's very important when you come over to this way of life that you don't overcomplicate your meals. I know it's very easy to get carried away on Pinterest. You know, you want to go to town searching for all of these vegan or whole foods plant-based recipes, which is so great. But what happens is a lot of times those recipes require a lot of steps, a lot of ingredients, and a lot of your time. Time that you may not have. You've got to keep your meals quick and easy and basic. When eating whole plant foods, it's very easy to do this. It's very easy to throw some lentils and a couple vegetables together in an Instant Pot. Or to pop a potato in the oven and put a little tiny bit of salt in my delicious vegan cheese sauce and couple that with some broccoli. That's a great meal to have that is filling, full of nutrition, and it's satisfying and not that hard to make. I think our minds are so conditioned for extravagance, especially when it comes to the food that we eat. And I think it's very easy to get caught in that trap when you come from the standard American diet over to a vegan, whole foods, plant-based one. The best thing you can do to make this lifestyle easy when it comes to cooking is to find a handful of recipes that are simple, that you enjoy or your whole family enjoys. You get those ingredients for those meals and you always keep those items in stock. I talk a lot about this in my quote-unquote pantry chef videos. I will put that link above and link those videos in the description box. I also highly recommend watching these. In this, I show you how to cook and shop based off your inventory in your pantry and your refrigerator versus recipes that you might search weekly on the internet. That can get very complicated and make your life way more busier than you need it to be. You want to have meals that you know you and your family love, and you want to always be shopping for those items every week. Not only does this make your life easier, your cooking life easier, you'll find your grocery bills will not be as expensive when every week you're only buying, a couple of cans of beans and some lettuce. Why is that all you need? Because you're always keeping things in stock. It's a quite easy concept. So back to keeping things simple. Again, when you're only eating whole plant foods or minimally processed plant foods, when you're eating things like this, it's very easy to throw meals together. And when you have stuff in your house in stock all the time, it takes minutes to just throw things in a pot and have a delicious meal. I'm telling you, it'll change your life. All right, and the last thing I want to touch upon, I hope I don't have anything in my teeth, is the fact that, listen, you are going to have friends and maybe some family members who don't agree with your decision to become a vegan. They may be concerned that you're not going to get all the nutrients that you need, although we all know that that's not true. They may feel that by you going vegan, they have to do the same as well, which we all know that's not the case. As much as we would love that, we don't want to push anyone to do anything they don't want to do. Who knows the reasons why people may not agree with your decision to go vegan? Whatever it is, it's gonna happen. And it's up to you to be a shining example of what being a vegan really means. Don't feel the need to defend yourself. Just, kind of brush it off and be like, yeah, well, you feel like you feel and I feel like I feel. Let's just shake on it and be friends. If there's one thing I've learned since transitioning over to this way of life, it's that me being a positive example for other people makes such a huge impact. I cannot tell you how many people, without me asking, have decided to eat better or even become a vegan just because they see me and they see what I'm doing. Just being you and owning who you are and being proud of this decision can make such a difference in this world. So I encourage you to just be a good example, not let the negative chatter bother you, because there's gonna be some, and go on with your life knowing you are being the best version of yourself possible, and be happy about that. Now, if you enjoyed this video and you are looking for more tips and tricks on how to transition to being a vegan, eating a whole foods plant-based diet, and how to actually make it stick, I encourage you to check out my new ebook, Simple Vegan Mama. Yes, Simple Vegan Mama, not to be confused with Hungry Vegan Mama. In this e-guide, I do just that. I show you how to live this way simple, how to transition easy, and like I said, how to make it stick. I'll link it in the description box for you so you can check it out. I thank you all so much for being here, so much for watching. I appreciate the support, and make sure you like this video if you enjoyed it, and leave a comment down below for me. I love chatting with y'all in the comment section. Also, head on over to Instagram if you want to see what I'm eating on a daily basis. I also have been posting a lot of fun reels over there. If you want to see that, make sure you go follow me over at hungry.vegan.mama over on Instagram. And otherwise, I will be seeing you guys next Monday. Y'all have a fantastic week.